Okay, so we are still here in Jamaica, broadcasting from Treasure Beach area of Jamaica with all of the aspiring Kemetic Yoga instructors. So we are going to begin with the cleansing breath, okay? So we're going to come down on our backs and we're going to separate our feet, shoulders width apart, and release the legs from the hips so that the feet fall down towards the side. Resting the back of the head to the mat. Find your navel with your finger, and then place your right hand right below your navel. Place your left hand on the back of your right hand. Let your upper arms between your shoulders and your elbows rest against the floor or rest against your mat. Let your eyes close. Place the tip of your tongue to the roof of your mouth. And you should automatically begin to feel yourself breathing slowly and deeply through your nostrils. You're going to take your mind and scan your body and check your body for any tension and try to release the tension as you exhale the breath. So first, move your mind into your facial muscles. Relaxing your facial muscles, relaxing the muscles of your jaws and your cheeks, releasing the muscles and any tension from your neck and your shoulders. Move your mind into the middle of your spine and relax your spine. Relax your backbone, relax your hips. Move your mind into your thigh, release your thigh. Relax your lower legs, relax your feet and your ankles. Even let your toes relax, become comfortable. Now breathe in slowly through your nose and expand your abdomen upward. Hold your breath, open your mouth, and slowly exhale. Squeezing all the air from your lungs as you exhale. Then let your mouth close and breathe in slowly through your nose. Hold your breath. While you're holding your breath, open your mouth and slowly exhale. One more time. Breathe in through your nose. Hold your breath, open your mouth, squeeze the air out through your nose, out through your mouth. And then take your right hand and move it up a few inches to the lower part of your chest. Place your left hand on the back of your right and let your thumbs make a pyramid shape. Your eyes are closed, your lips are together. You place the tip of your tongue to the middle of your hard palate. And you breathe slow and deep through your nose. The rising of your abdomen with the inhalation and the sinking of your abdomen with the exhalation is like the waves of the ocean. So you want your breathing to become slow. You want your breathing to become smooth. After your inhalation, you hold your breath. You stop breathing, just become still. You hold your breath for about 2 to 3 seconds. On your exhalation, you squeeze all the air out through your nose. And then before you inhale again, you pause or wait for 2 to 3 seconds. And then repeat the timing of your breath over and over again until it becomes second nature in the way that you breathe. So you continue to breathe. You keep the tip of your tongue lightly touching the middle of your hard palate, the roof of your mouth. You allow the breath to move smoothly through your nostrils. Your abdomen is rising and falling with your inhalation and your exhalation like the waves of the ocean. You are releasing tension from your body, causing your body to become heavier against the floor with each exhalation of your breath. Now, as you are breathing in, lift your hands up off your chest. As you exhale, lower your arms down next to your body with your palms flat. Then bring your legs together, let your feet touch together, and flex your toes towards your body. Lift your head and shoulders off the floor. Bring your chin to your chest. Elevate your hands above your thighs. Exhale and squeeze your abdominal muscles, and then inhale and let your body rise up. And with your exhalation, your hands come down to your knees and your shoulders relax. And breathe in, slowly breathe out, releasing the weight of your body downward into the floor, into the earth. And then cross your legs into Sesh pose, variation 1. So as we go through the Sesh pose, as we go through all the movements, I want you to pay special attention to the words, the concepts, and the methodology, okay, of how to do these practices. So the first thing you want to do is establish your firm grip on your leg. And so you're going to pull and rotate in your hip joint so that your spine sits up, your chest lifts, and your shoulders go down. So you hold onto your leg to press your shoulders down, press your forearms into your thighs. As you are breathing in, you tilt your head halfway back. As you exhale, you release your neck. The exhalation releases resistance from the neck, from the throat. And you go into a full release of your neck muscles all the way back, massaging the glands and organs in your throat. With your inhalation, your head comes up straight. With your exhalation, your head goes down and your chin goes down towards your chest. As you are breathing in, your head comes up. Hold your breath in. Slowly turn your head to your left as you are exhaling. So bring your head up straight first, and then turn the head to the left. And then as you are breathing in, turn your head back to the center. As you exhale, you turn your head to the right. Release your neck, release your shoulders. And then turn your head back to the center, back to the front, looking forward. Now take your right hand, place it underneath your left knee. Place your left hand in the back of your right hand. Turn your chest and shoulders until it's square with your thigh. Breathe in. As you exhale, contract your abdomen and lay your chest down towards your thigh. Try to pass your chin over your knee. And keep breathing. Inhaling. Each time you exhale, go down a little bit further. Wrap your arms around your leg. Breathe in. Slowly exhale. Release your leg. Rise. Your arms come up with your body as you turn to your right. As you exhale, your hands come underneath your right knee. As you inhale, you lift your chest, flatten your back. And as you are exhaling, lower your chest down towards your thigh. Wrap your arms around your leg and pull your chest flat. So wrap your arms like you're doing a bear hug on your leg. Chest to the thigh, chin to the knee. Breathe in. Slowly breathe out. Breathe in. Slowly exhale. Let go of your leg. And as you inhale, rise. Coming up. Exhale your hands around your knees from behind. And with your inhalation, lift the chest, flatten the back. And with your exhalation, bending forward, chest to the thigh, the chest down towards the floor, bending from your waist. Inhale, extend your arms forward. And as you exhale, put your palms flat. Relax your neck, relax your shoulders. Breathe in and slowly breathe out. Breathe in and rise up. Your arms are above your head as you come up. You move from your waist. You take your thumb and your forefinger and bring them together. And with your exhalation, release your shoulders. Let your wrists come to your knees. Close your eyes. Allow yourself to become completely still. Tip of your tongue connected to the roof of your mouth. And you are breathing slow and deep through your nostrils. Inhaling. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. And from here, we're going to uncross the legs. Stretch your toes back and forth. Take your knees up and down. So from here, we're going to come on to our abdomen. Place your hands on the floor. Place your chin on the back of your hands. And point your feet. Let your body relax. Breathe in slowly. And breathe out slowly. Breathe in. And breathe out. Now take your hands and place them next to your chest. Make sure that your forearms are perpendicular to the floor. As you are inhaling, lift your upper body up, push against the mat, arch your spine, lift your chest, and breathe in. And slowly breathe out. Breathe in. Slowly exhale. Now fold your toes underneath your feet. Bring your body parallel with the floor like you're doing a push-up. Inhale and push your hips up. Move your left foot forward, your right foot forward. And as you exhale, push backwards and get your heels towards the floor. As you are breathing in, come up to the balls of your feet. As you exhale, lower your knees down to the mat. Lift your feet and point your toes. Place your right hand back in front of your right knee, your left hand back in front of your left knee. Keep about a 2-inch space between your heel of your hand and your knee. And then sit your buttocks down to your heels. Keep your chest up. Your head is up. And breathe in. Breathe out. Take your right forearm. Bring it to the mat. Take your left forearm. Bring it to the mat. We go into Kemetic. Breathe in. Slowly breathe out. Take your left hand. Extend it forward. Take your right hand, extend it forward, elbows off of the mat. As you inhale, lift your elbows, bring your nose about 1 inch from the ground and go forward. Transfer your weight from your knees into your hands. As you inhale, lift your upper body. As you exhale, straighten your arms, lift your chest, let your head go back. Engaging the muscles in your chest, your shoulders, your back, and your arms. Now fold your toes underneath your feet. Bring your body parallel with the floor. Inhale and lift your hips up. Left foot forward, right foot forward. Exhale and press backwards. Inhale up to the balls of your feet. Exhale your knees down. Point your toes and breathe in. Exhale back into Mesu Heru. Forehead down towards the floor. And breathe slow and deep. Inhaling and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Now rise up onto your hands and knees. And then take a seat. Your legs crossed. And release the weight of your body down into the earth. Breathe in and breathe out slowly. Now from here, we're going to do something. We're going to do a type of spinal twist. So what I want you to do is to come into this position with your feet up, feet flat. You're going to put your arms out to the side at an angle. Okay? With your feet up higher. With your feet closer towards you. Okay? Now, you're going to lift your hips over to your right. Breathe in. As you exhale, come to the edge of your left foot and let your body twist. You're going to your left. Twisting your spine as your legs go down. You got to exhale. Your head and shoulders stay in place. You exhale, isolating your upper body from your lower body. Breathe in. Slowly breathe out. Breathe in. Slowly exhale. As you inhale, let your legs come back up. Put your feet back to flat against the floor. And then realign your hips back to the center again. Exhale. Now breathe in and breathe out. Lift your hips off the floor. Take them over to your left. So your hips, you got to move your hips first. Look at me, everybody. Your hips are even now. You're going to lift up, put your hips to your left. And then breathe in. And when you exhale, your feet are going to stay on top of each other like this. Y'all see? Open your eyes. Look at me. Sister. Look at me. I want your feet like this. There you go. And then easing down. Make your spine. You have a twisting motion in your spine. This is a spinal twist. This is massaging your internal organ. Releasing tension from your lower back, your middle back. Breathing in. Slowly breathing out. Now, as you breathe in, come back up. And then adjust your feet. And then adjust your spine back to the center. Okay? Breathe in and breathe out. Now from here, we're going to come onto our back. Legs out in front. And we're going to take the arms out to the side. You're going to make your body like a cross. So your arms are straight out across your side. To your side. Your palms are flat against the floor. Flex your feet towards your body and then lift your right leg up as you are breathing in. As you are exhaling, squeeze your left butt cheek and then let your hip go over to the left. Turn your head towards the right. And breathe in. Slowly breathe out. Breathe in. Slowly exhale. Make sure you turn your head towards the right, opposite direction than your foot. Now flex your foot and inhale your leg straight up. Hold it straight up. And then exhale your leg to your right. Opening up the hip joint. Thank you. I knew that fire was over there. Breathing in. Breathing out. And with your inhalation, lift your right leg straight up. With your exhalation, keep that foot flexed. Lower your foot down as you exhale. Now close your eyes and breathe for a few seconds. And try to feel the positive healing effects that this movement has had upon your hip area, your lower back. Now flex your feet towards you. We're going to squeeze your thigh muscles and lift your left leg up until your left leg becomes perpendicular to the plane of the floor. Breathe in. As you exhale, squeeze your right butt cheek and let your leg go over to your right. As your head turns to the left. Getting a nice twisting motion in your spine while at the same time releasing your hip. Breathe in. Slowly breathe out. Breathe in. Slowly exhale. One more time. Breathe in slowly. Exhale slowly. As you breathe in, flex your foot and rotate on your hip until your leg comes up perpendicular to the ground. And then exhale your leg out to your left. Your head is going to turn to your right. And breathe in. Slowly breathe out. Breathe in. Slowly exhale. Inhale. And then exhale. Flex your foot. Inhale your left leg up. Rotate on your lower back. Flex your foot and lower your heel down gently to the floor next to your right. And then relax. Separate your feet, shoulders width apart, and put your right palm on your chest. Put your left palm on the back of your right. And then breathe for a few seconds. And I want you to actually feel the effects of the movement. You should notice that your breathing is deeper. Your nostrils are more open and your lungs are larger. Inhaling. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Now, as you are breathing in, lift your hands off your chest. As you exhale, bring your arms down to the floor next to your body, palms flat. Move your legs together, put your feet together, and flex your feet towards your body. Lift your head and shoulders until your chin comes to your chest. Elevate your hands above your thighs. As you exhale, squeeze abdominal muscles and rise up to a sitting position. And then with your exhalation, let your hands come down to your knees. Can you turn all these lights on, sir? Now, once you come up, you want to breathe. You want to feel your blood circulation adjusting to the sitting up position. Then cross your legs. So yes, you feel a nice release for your lower back and your hips. Okay? So those last two poses are very powerful for your lower back and your hips and your midsection of your body. Okay? So from here, so what we're doing, we're just putting together a whole different flow than normal. So we put together different poses so you can see how different things work together. So when you're teaching your classes, you can be creative in the way that you construct your class. Okay. So from here, what I want you to do is to bring your legs out in front. You have your legs straight. Your feet are flexing back towards your body. And then you're going to bend your knees slightly. Place your hands in the back of your knee and then sit up onto your sit bones. Okay, flex your feet very strongly. Now extend your arms out to the side. Rotate your arms from the shoulders so that your arms face up towards the sky. With your inhalation, your arms rise. With your exhalation, you bring your hands together. Inhale your arms forward. And as you exhale, reach out from your lower back, reach out from your hips, reach out from your ribs and your shoulders and grab your feet. And put your head down and put your chin down towards your chest. Now, as you hold this position, breathing slow and deep to your nostrils, inhaling, exhale, inhale, and exhale. Let go of your leg. Let go of your feet, rather. Inhale yourself up. Put your legs flat. And as you exhale, let your arms make circular motions and come back down to your knees. Breathe in and slowly breathe out. Now I want you to take your right leg and you're going to bend it back behind and to the side. Your left hand is going to stay on your left shin bone. When you breathe in, you're going to lift your left arm up. When you exhale, go forward until you feel a lengthening in the muscle in the back of your left leg. And then lower your head down and bring your chin down to your chest and find your comfort zone. As you hold this position, breathe in. Slowly breathe out, lengthening your spine even deeper into the pose. Breathe in. As you exhale, release deeper into your pose. Now release your foot. Inhale and rise. Your arm is shoulders height. Shoulders height. With your exhalation, lower your hand down to your knee. And breathe in. Slowly breathe out. Now from here, what I want you to do is to take your hands. Going back to the old days, Gio. Take your hands back here and come down onto your forearms. You're trying to keep this leg on the ground as much as you can, right? So then breathe in and try to come down, place your shoulders and your back and your head to the ground. When you ease down, you're going to feel a nice opening in your right thigh muscle. Place your hands behind your head and breathe in. Slowly breathe out. Breathe in. Slowly breathe out. Now come up onto your forearms again and lift up. Back to this position. And then push up with your hands and come straight. Exhale. Then all the way up straight. So your back foot, you want it to be on the edge like this, see? Okay? Now, let's change legs. I'm going to turn this way. So now we bring the left leg back and the right leg is straight. Hands rested upon your right shin bone. As you inhale, lift your right arm up. As you exhale, lean forward into this right foot and grab that foot from behind, from underneath, rather. All you want to do, you don't have to go real deep into the pose. Just go as far as your body allows you to go comfortably. Don't try to force it. You just want to get a nice opening and lengthening of the muscles in the back of your leg and the muscles in your hips, your lower back. Keep breathing, exhaling yourself into the position until you are comfortable. Find your comfort zone. Then release your foot, inhale yourself up. And as you exhale, put your arms behind you and then ease down onto your forearm. Okay? You try to keep your left leg as close to the ground as you can. Breathe in. And as you exhale, you come down onto your back with your hands behind your head. And breathe in. Slowly breathe out. Inhale. Exhale. Come up onto your forearms. Push up and take a seat. And then bring your left leg out. Bring both your feet together. Over your toes. Okay? Now breathe, slow and deep. Then we're going to come down on the side of our body. We're going to come down onto your right side. So your right side is going to be against the ground. You're going to bend your knees slightly. And you're going to take your right hand, put your right arm against, right elbow against the floor, your right hand underneath your head. We call this Blad pose, the Blad. Blad means you just chilling. Laying on the side, chilling in the sun, getting some sunlight, getting some vitamin D, popping your melanin a little bit. And then you're going to take your first two fingers of your left hand, put them together like this. You're going to lift your left knee and put your fingers in between your big toe and your next toe and wrap your fingers around your big toe. And then breathe in, exhale, and straighten your left leg. You want to open up your left hip joint, right into that hip joint, that ball and socket. You want to straighten your leg. You're breathing in and breathing out. Breathe in and breathe out. And then let your knee come down. Let your leg come down. You place it back on top. And then breathe slow and deep. Then I want you to switch sides. So I'm going to go this way. So these movements we're doing, if you're working with people who got problems with their lower back, with their hips, with right up in the hip joint, where the thigh comes and connects to the hip, these are poses that you want to do. Okay? So we go from blase pose here. Your right hand is rested upon your right thigh. You're breathing in. You're breathing out. Take your first two fingers, bring your knee up, put your fingers around your big toe. Now breathe in. You're going to straighten your leg up as you exhale. Straighten your leg until your knee is straight, and you can feel a nice opening, nice lengthening in the hamstring muscle in the back of your thigh. Now breathe in, slowly breathe out. Breathe in, slowly breathe out. Breathe in. As you exhale, bend your knee and bring your leg down back to the original position. And relax and breathe, inhaling and exhaling. Inhale and exhale. Now from here, we're going to come up into a sitting position. Sit up, please, and cross your legs. Okay? So now we're going to work a little bit on what we call Lotus position, L-O-T-U-S. Take your right foot, bring it out to the side like this, and bring your left foot to the inside of your right thigh. You want to go out at an angle like that. Okay? Now, I want you to inhale your right arm up, exhale and grab your right ankle, and then bring this right foot over on top of your left thigh. Put your left hand underneath your right foot and rotate it and put it all the way on top of your thigh. and then adjust your body until everything is even and straight. And so this is called half lotus, okay? When we do full lotus, we keep this foot here and we put the left foot on top there, and that's called full lotus. So we are doing half lotus now, okay? So you want to sit here. In order to achieve lotus position, you have to open up your hip, your knee, and your ankle. When you look down at your foot, you want to be able to see the bottom of your foot. While your foot is here and exposed to you, you can press in with your thumbs and do reflexology on your foot, right? So when I press, your foot is a reflection of your body. The toe area and this top part of the foot corresponds from your throat on to the top of your head. This middle part of your foot corresponds to your midsection, and this lower part of your foot from your heel on down corresponds to your lower part of your body. So if I press my thumb into this area that corresponds to my digestive system, like my colon, my stomach, I can induce a belch, because I'm working my digestive system by pressing into my foot, okay? Now from here, I want you to take your hands underneath your right knee. So this is an extension of when we do the Sesh pose variation 1, right? Breathe in, because now the foot is up here. And as you exhale, this is going to give you more opening in your right hip joint. And so you're going to try to guide your chest towards your thigh, guide your chin down towards your knee. You want to go into this position on your exhalation. When you run out of breath, you breathe in again. And as you exhale, go further into the movement. Now, release your leg. Breathe in and rise, turn into the center, and exhale your hands down, back in the center. And then breathe in and slowly breathe out. Take your hands, grab hold of your right leg, lift it up. Move your left leg out to the side and put your right foot to the inside of your left thigh. Okay? Now, take your left hand, reach for your left leg right above the ankle, breathe in, and as you exhale, bring your foot over. Get your right hand underneath your left foot and rotate at the ankle so you can see the bottom of your left foot. And then pull the foot all the way on top of your left thigh, of your right thigh, rather, and then adjust your body so you can be straight. You want everything to be lined up properly. Breathing in, breathing out. And now that you've given yourself nice access to the bottom of your foot, press into those areas, open them up. You can squeeze your toes, press it into your head. All of this area from the toes on up, from the bottom of your foot to the top of your toes is all your head, neck, and throat area. Your eyes. Okay. Now turn your body to your left. Place your hands underneath your left knee. And then we're going to breathe in. As we exhale, easing your chest down towards your thigh. Breathing again. As you exhale, gently ease yourself further into the movement. Don't tighten up your knees. Don't tighten up your ankles. Do not resist. Allow your body to let go with your exhalation. Breathe in, breathe out. Let go of your legs. Breathe in and rise up. Coming up to the center, and then exhaling your hands down. Close your eyes and breathe through your nose. Try to feel how much deeper your breath has become. Now from here, you're going to take, this is your left leg, this is your left foot. You're going to pick up your left foot, and you're going to bring the bottom of both your feet together. And we're going to work on what we call butterfly. So you're going to press your legs down towards the floor, towards the ground. You're going to hold on to your front leg, to your toes, and press your legs open. If you can hold on to your ankles and you sort of press with your arms. So you feel a nice opening on your inner thighs. Okay? Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, and breathe out. Okay? Now, take your left foot, bring it to the inside of your right thigh. Place your hands underneath your right foot and inhale your right foot up. Exhale your right foot on top of your left thigh. Okay? Now, your left foot is this foot is underneath that's underneath your right leg. You're going to inch your left foot out. Let your right knee come down to the mat. Place your hands underneath your left foot and breathe in. And as you exhale, you pull that right foot on top of the left thigh, or the left foot on top of the right thigh. Breathe in and breathe out. Okay? And so what is this called? The full lotus. We did half lotus earlier, now we're doing full lotus. Now let your left foot come down. There's a lot more stuff we can do within this pose, but we're not going to take it and overdo it. Bring your feet back together, go back to your butterfly position. You're going to feel your inner thighs, your hips opening up. Okay? You're going to get wider. You're going to get more open in this pelvis area. This is part of the sequence that we do when we do prenatal yoga to help a woman be able to have her pelvic region open, and also to train a pregnant woman to be able to breathe through the contraction that they may be having. Okay? So in order to get into the lotus position, you have to breathe through it. In order to get to a contraction with as little distress as you can, you have to breathe through it. And this methodology is doing all of that. Okay? So that is your lotus sequence, going into your full lotus position. Okay? Now let's take the legs and let's bring the legs out in front. And we're going to stretch the toes back and forth. We're going to shake out the knees. Okay? It's important that you do something as simple as shaking out your knees so that you do not, cause too much distress in your knees. You take the tension out, okay? Because when we're doing that load, when we're doing half lotus and full lotus, we are asking the knees to do a lot of different motions. And so you want to keep balance. You don't want to overdo it. You don't want to say, oh, I saw somebody doing it like this, and then you start doing it and you tear something, or you damage something, sprain something. Okay? So you want to stay within yourself. You work on it again. We went this far today. You work on it tomorrow. You work on it the next day. It's a progressive thing, because as a yoga practitioner and as a yoga teacher, you practice yoga every day. So you always are working on something, right? So from here, we're going to bend the knees and we're going to scoot the buttocks forward, come down onto your hands and knees, and come down onto your back. And place your arms at the side of your body with palms flat. Breathe in, slowly breathe out. Breathe in, slowly exhale. Now bring your right thigh up towards your chest. Put your hands around your right leg and pull your thigh into your chest. Breathe in, exhale your chin up to your knee. Inhale and straighten your left leg. Keep your left foot about 3 inches off the floor. Inhale, exhale, and let the back of your head come down to the mat. Bend your left knee and put your left foot to the mat. Lower your right foot down next to your left and relax and breathe. Put your hands on your abdominal area and breathe slow and deep. Inhale and exhale. Now take your left thigh and bring it up to your chest. Put your hands around your left leg and pull your thigh all the way into your chest. Exhale, contract your abdomen out of the way, and then breathe in. As you exhale, lift your head and shoulders until your chin touches your knee. Inhale. As you exhale, straighten your right foot and keep your right foot about 3 inches off the floor as you point your toes. And then allow the back of your head to come to the mat. Bend your right knee and put your right foot to the mat. And then lower your left foot down next to your right foot. And breathe in slowly. And breathe out slowly. Now bend both your knees, both your thighs come up towards your chest. Use your hands to pull your thighs into your chest. Wrap your arms around your legs and squeeze chest to thigh. Bring your chin up towards your knees. And then lower the back of your head to the mat. Slide your hands down to right above your ankles and put your bottom of your feet flat. From here, you're going to breathe in and lift your lower back, squeezing your shoulder blades, pushing your pelvis up. And breathe in, slowly breathe out. Breathe in, slowly exhale, and then ease your upper back to the floor, ease your middle back to the floor as you touch your hips, and then bring your lower back down flat to the floor. And breathe in, and slowly breathe out. Breathe in, and slowly exhale. Let your eyes close and just allow yourself to breathe. And try to feel how much more deeper your breathing has become. Now ease your legs down, flat to the mat. Bring your feet together, bring your legs together. Place your arms on the floor next to your body with your palms flat. And flex your feet. Lift your head and shoulders until your chin comes to your chest. Elevate your hands above your thighs and exhale. Inhale and let your body rise. Exhale, put your hands down to your knees and release your shoulders. You breathe in. Slowly exhale. Inhale. Slowly exhale. Now, we're going to cross our legs back to Sesh pose, variation 1. Breathe in. Slowly breathe out. And we're going to practice a vibrational healing sound that we call Om Shu Ra. Om, O-M, Shu, S-H-U, and Ra, R-A. Om Shu Ra. So Om is the universal sound of energy. So if you ever come into your kitchen at night, you hear your refrigerator humming. It's making that an Om sound, right? That's Om. That's a sound that was present at the beginning of the universe, right? In Indian culture, you see an image of Shiva, and Shiva has a drum in one hand and something else, a drum and a bell or something like that. And he has multiple legs, right? And he's standing on one leg and he's playing that instrument that makes the vibration. Okay. So everything, you can turn around. So everything that's in the universe has a vibration to it. But Om is like a universal vibration. Okay. And so we make Om, the sound of Om is actually A-U-M. Oh, you see that? A-U-M. Okay. So to make the sound, you want to make the sound for an extended period of time. And so in order to make the sound, you have to have a full breath, your lungs have to be full so that you can slowly release the breath and slowly release the sound. So we're going to make the sound of Om first. So what I want you to do, I want you to breathe in, bring your breath all the way up into your chest. Hold your breath, open your mouth. I'm going to make this sound 3 times. So you're going to breathe in. If you make the sound one more time, breathe in. I'll relax and breathe. And the next sound we're going to make is called shu, S-H-U, okay? So shu represents this concept of breath. In the story of creation that comes from ancient Kemet, before there was anything, before there was any planets, stars, or anything like that, you just had these waters of new in you, waters of new. And there was a power called Atum who rose up out of the waters of new on a hill. And he caused Geb the earth and Nut the sky to separate. And when they separated, you saw Shu separating them by pushing them apart because they were in sacred copulation all of that time. And in some of the stories, when Shu pushed them apart, they had a lot of little babies running around underneath them. So they was able to give birth to these infants, right? Okay. And so Shu separated them. So Shu is the atmosphere. Shu is the medium that we exist in, that we are surrounded in. And so we have to have Shu in order to live, in order to survive, right? So we're going to make this sound Shu, S-H-U. So I want you to breathe in. I want you to fill your lungs all the way up to the top. Relax, breathe in, breathe out, relax. Now breathe in again, fill up your lungs. Bring your breath all the way up to your chest. You got to get strong. Breathing. One last time. Breathe in. Now breathe. So the last sound, the last vibration and frequency that we're going to engage in is called Ra. Ra is spelled R-A. Ra represents the life force and the energy of the sun. Without the sun, we would not have any type of life. Without the sun, we would not be able to know time. So time started with the creation of the sun, because that's how we able to tell a day has gone by. That's how we can use to measure when a week has gone by or a year, based upon how many times the earth rotates on its axis in relationship to the sun, and how many times, how long it takes for the earth to go on its orbit around the sun. Okay. So before you had the sun, before you had the earth, there was no such thing as time, because time is measured in relative terms. What in relationship to something else, one thing in relationship to another. That's how we tell time. Okay. And so Ra is life force, Ra is energy, Ra is power. Okay. The Europeans, they took the name Ra and they called it Ray. So Ray in Spanish means king, or Ray. So on and so forth. I ain't want to go into all that. But Ra is the life force and energy from the sun. When we make that sound, we are actually cultivating that energy. We are actually using that force to purify ourselves. Okay? So we're going to make the sound of Ra, R-A. So we're going to breathe in. Breathe. Again, fill your lungs all the way from the bottom, all the way to the top of your chest. Breathe in. Just allow yourself to breathe comfortably. Pay attention to all the different physiological, biological, biochemical changes taking place within your being. These practices are the ultimate high, the ultimate way to transcend consciousness without having to take anything else into your body. You make the sound of Ra one more time. So we breathe in. Off to that back. Breathe in. Okay. So finally, what we do is we combine all three sounds together into one continuous sound called Om Shura. Okay? Om Shura. So let's breathe in. Om Shura. There are 2 more to go. So you breathe in. Eyes are closed, lips together, tip of the tongue connected to the roof of the mouth. We're breathing slow and deep. Okay, that's Om Shu Ra. And so making those sounds are going to help you to harmonize your own personal vibrational frequency to that which belongs to the universe. And so you are in tuning yourself into the universe. You're making yourself more detectable and more amenable to the vibrational frequency that lead to success in fulfilling the goals and objectives that you have, in terms of causing you to be able to perceive events before they happen, to give you the intuition that you know that you need to have in order to make a decision, to lead yourself into the right direction. Okay, so this type of breath work, this type of energy work is imperative for anybody to do. This is the stuff that we used to learn when we were children in ancient times, that the other folks have tried to make us forget or to believe that it is evil. Okay. So for those who want to take notes, we talked about earlier, we were talking about the what the ancient Kemet were called the Neteru. So we said the word Neteru is spelled N-E-T-E-R, and the second word that's in that is called Ru, or you could even make it one word, R-U at the end. Neteru. Huh? You can't hear me? I'm right here. Huh? That's the ocean. No, it's like Lake Michigan. Okay. Well, I'll be talking as loud as. Can you hear me now? I'm sorry. Because my back was to you. But you got 2 words: neter, N-E-T-E-R, which means that great force from which everything comes, and you got neteru, N-E-T-E-R-R-U, which means the little individual divisions of that great force. Okay, so if you look at just like the sun is not the creator, but it's an aspect of the creation that carries out a function. The ocean is not the creator, but the ocean is an aspect of creation that carries out a function, right? The air is not the creator, but it's part of the creative, part of something that the creator put here that provides us things, right? Provides us air, provides us oxygen. Okay. So that The overall everything is called nete. The individual parts are called neteru. And so the neteru can be both forces of nature and also appear in the form of beings, like our star, our set, Heru, Sekhmet, Delket, and so on and so forth. All of them are neteru, but they are reflections or aspects of the one divine. The entire creator is unknowable to the human mind. I don't care what you say, who you know, what's in this book or that book, it is unknowable. Okay. And so what human beings do, they go through a process called anthropomorphize. So they take something that they cannot understand and they put it into a form of a human, of a person. And that's called anthropomorphize, right? So nobody can understand, nobody can comprehend, nobody can see this great force. We just know that there was something that created everything, okay? We know that there was something there's a one thing that everything comes from. That's what we call nature. The word nature, the English word nature, comes from the Kemetic word neter, because that's what we're talking. We're talking about nature. When we say the word nature, we're talking about everything. So it's incomprehensible to our mind, right? So our ancestors, they gave us methodology upon which we can build an understanding of what's going on around us, what's going on in the universe, what's going on in nature, what's going on in our mind, in our psychology, right? And so when you study the different neteru, Asar, Aset, Eru, Sekhmet, Min, so on and so forth, you are studying the nature of people, and you're gaining insight into how you should live your life and how you should conduct yourself as you move through the cosmos. Because we're literally moving through the cosmos. We are on a vehicle called the Earth, and we are moving. The Earth is spinning at 25,000 miles per hour, but we don't even perceive it. But it is, right? So because of the fact that there are forces and counter forces that keep everything in harmony with each other. You got gravity and you got centrifugal force. If you didn't have gravity, we would fly off. But gravity counteracts centrifugal force. So we're stable. It's a nice balance between everything. And so when our ancestors looked at nature, when they looked at the universe, what they saw was an order. They said there's an order to everything. Okay? So there's an order, O-R-D-E-R. Everything has an order. And that's what they call Ma'at. Ma'at is the order keeper. Okay, that's her role, is to maintain order. Because she expresses the way everything is supposed to be in its natural state. Okay? She expresses the harmony, the balance that everything is supposed to be in as you move through your own experience of time and space. Okay? We have this global time and space that we say today is Thursday, tomorrow is Friday, but we also have our own individual perception of time and space as our life is progressing in certain way, right? So So let's take some of the major Necharu, okay, one by one. So let's start with the sister, Aset. Okay, so Aset is spelled Auset. And Aset represents the sacred feminine. Aset, in many ways, is the ultimate female. Okay, so there's a word called archetype. Archetype. I know that word archetype. So an archetype is giving you an example of certain universal laws and principles. And so Aset, Auset, is the archetype of the sacred feminine. So when you read her story and when you read the things that she did, then you get an understanding of what power that you have within you and how you should conduct yourself and live your life. Because Aset was the one who had enough knowledge and wisdom to help to save everything. So even though she produced a son who came to be the savior, she was the one who produced him, right? She produced him. He didn't produce himself. So she is as much, if not more, responsible for the saving of everything, because she the one who produced her own offspring, her own son, without even having to have conjugal relation, as they call it in jail. Conjugal visit. Assad didn't get no conjugal visit when he was locked up in his castle. Okay, when his body was chopped into 14 pieces. Okay, so so in the story, in the story of Asar, Aset, Asar, and Heru, Aset is the mother, Asar is the father, and Heru is the son. So they make a type of trinity, right? So in the story, Asar was the king, and his wife Aset was the queen. And Asar had a brother whose name is Set. Now, some people in the modern day consciousness, Black community, they try to say that Set represents evil. He don't represent evil. If he was evil, how come her name is Set? So how can the word Set mean evil if it's in the name of our most sacred female, Necharu? Her name is Set. Okay. One of the greatest pharaohs, his name is Seti. So Set in and of itself does not represent something that's negative or evil. The story of Set tricking our star and killing him and then cutting his body into 14 parts is a device. It's a literary device. Just like you in the movies, right? The one character represents a certain thing because they got to carry out a function, right? But so that's what Set represents in that one story. All the other stories, Set is not killing nobody, Set is not treacherous, Set is not doing nothing. But he is a protector of our Asar. But in that one story, he was needed to tell, in order to make the story work, he was needed to be the one who betrayed his brother. Okay? But only in that one story. And this civilization was in place for 20,000 years or more. So during that period of time, the story was told over and over again. New stories came about. Old stories were discarded. Okay, but in our current community, we just get stuck on one little thing. Our set represents the lower self. Heru represents the higher self. That's a false narrative. Okay, so our set is the perfect female. Our set is the mother. She's the magician. Think about women. Women have intuition, you know. Some of y'all from the South or wherever you're from, if you get pregnant, your grandmama, your auntie, she know before you even tell her. They be telling you, girl, they be telling you. I had a dream about some fish last night. Here you come popping up. Let me see, you know. And so this knowledge, this connection to the divine knowledge of the universe is something that women, the sacred feminine, that they inherently have. Okay, more so than the vast majority of men. Okay, and so the greatest magic workers are the women, right? So look at Sinners, for example. In that movie, that sister, she was working all the stuff, you know? And so she was very powerful. And if it wasn't for her, everything would have went, it wasn't for her knowledge, her intuition, and her feelings, and her trust of her own feelings, they wouldn't, everything would have went awry. Everything would have been messed up. The vampires, them Irish bastards, would have won the war, because the vampire was an old, ancient Irish spirit or something, or somebody, who got turned into a vampire. Okay. And so it's always the sisters who got the power. That's why we have to give respect to the sacred feminine, right? It don't mean that men have to be some kind of punk or something. Like a lot of men be thinking you got to be a punk. But no, you have to give homage to the sacred feminine, to the woman, right? And it's not to say you're supposed to let the women run all over you and beat you up and stuff like that, but you're supposed to give homage and understand what that is. And the woman is obligated to know who she is and what her role is and how she's supposed to use her power to do the things that she's supposed to do, right? And so because everything is a balance, the man got power too. He's supposed to be the warrior. He's supposed to be the protector. And he's also supposed to be the wise arbiter, decision maker, somebody who can discriminate and discern between different options and then help to forcefully pursue the right decision and go the right path. Okay? So the man and the woman, they both have their gifts, they both have their obligations. But the feminine is always on the top. Okay? Because if it wasn't for that, wouldn't be nobody. Ain't nobody popping out of no man. Ain't no damn rib. Women ain't nobody's rib. That's stupid. That's stupid. You ain't a rib. God damn. Cut the rib out and stick it in the, that's stupid. That's the kind of childish caveman mentality that the Europeans come from, where they believe this kind of mess, that you come from somebody's rib. to make you inferior and to make you dependent upon this type of a male who's dominating and misogynistic and stuff like that. This type of a male who's nothing but a punk. He a punk. All these preachers, all of these people with these organizations talking all this stuff. I don't care what color they are. I don't care what religion it is. If they talking about the man is over the woman, they punks. That's how I see it. Punk ass. Because they can't handle the fact of who they really are in reality. So they gotta say, oh, we stronger than the woman. Because they don't read it in this book called the Bible. That's why I say I don't read I've read the Bible a whole bunch of times. I don't read that mess to I just read it to know what the hell they talking about so I can say this is bullshit. That's the only reason I read it. Don't let me go off on this Bible. They made up the narrative because they pump. They some weak ass pump. Let me say this. Let me say this to cut through the all the stuff. There is no one explanation for anything. All we know is that these people who call themselves white people, because there was no such thing as race until white people made it up. They made it up as a device to control the population, the people. There was no such thing as white people. Nobody designated themselves as white or black. Okay. But when those people who we call white people, when they saw us, they saw God, they saw divinity. Okay. Because they can look at us and they can tell there was something about us that was higher up on a higher vibrational frequency. Okay. So I see that. I can't hardly hear you with these things in my ear, and I'm trying to stay on there. Okay. So let me just go through this. So our set, she represents the sacred feminine. She's a magician. She is she's like the queen mother. The queen mother. Okay. Her husband, Asar, he was the king. He was the one who sat on the throne. When you see an image of a woman, that woman's, you see our set. She's portrayed as a woman. How do you know you're looking at our set? What differentiates our set from all those other images that you're looking at? No. She got wings, but it's something more. A lot of people got wings. There's one thing that differentiates her. She wears the crown on top of, she wears the throne on top of her head. So the king's throne that he sits on is her, symbolically. She's the seat of power. Where does the king come from? He's given birth by his mother. His mother is the throne. You understand? Her symbol on the top of her head is the throne. The symbol on the top of the head of Ma'at is the feather. So the mother is the throne that gives authority for the king to be the king. Because she's the throne. How do you know a king? The king is sitting on the throne, right? She is the throne. All of this is symbolism. You understand? Okay. So you have Asar. Asar represents resurrection. He represents rebirth. See, was there really a man named Asar and a woman named Aset? I don't know, but I know what they represent. A lot of times when you see Asar portrayed, he has green skin because he represents vegetation. He represents the cycles of nature where things rise and fall and come back again. So when you have plants that rise in a certain season, then they go away for a certain season, then they come back the next season, right? That's what Asar represents, those cycles of nature. Cycles of nature. Huh? Resurrection. He represents resurrection and rebirth. And he represents the cycles of nature. Okay. I can't hardly hear you because everything in the Bible is plagiarized. And the stuff that's not plagiarized is made up madness. So yeah, Mary is an ancient Kemetic word. It means beloved. One of the names for Egypt is Ta Mary. It means Ta means land, Mary means beloved. So Ta Mary means beloved land. So the name Mary is Kemet. Remember we were saying for pyramid, we say Mer or Merkut. That's Mary. It represents the heart, beloved, love. What you gonna say, Jill? What was you gonna say? Okay. So Heru is where the English word hero comes from. Heru is his name because he became the savior. When Aset gave birth to Heru, she never had copulation with her husband. I don't use the term immaculate conception because that's what they say, yeah. But the word, when they say immaculate conception, they're saying that when a man and a woman have physical sex, that's dirty. That's why they call it immaculate. Immaculate means clean and pure and all that stuff. I don't think there's nothing wrong with a man and a woman having intercourse. Because that's how everybody get here. Immaculate conception means that she gave birth without a man. But the word immaculate, if I clean this floor so good that you can eat off of it, you would call it immaculate. It's clean. So so the supposition is that to have sex is dirty. Okay, so sex ain't you wouldn't have your baby if you didn't have some dirty sex, as they want to call it. No, it's not dirty. All of us, all of us is are the result of sex. Yeah, our mothers and our fathers. So any type of interaction between male and female that we call sex is sacred. It's not, it's all immaculate. if it's producing these wonderful human beings that's popping out, it's all immaculate. There's nothing immaculate about it. But the demented minds of the people who was living in caves, writing these, what they call them Bibles and stuff, it was dirty. It's bad. So they used it as a device to control the consciousness of people, to make them feel guilty from sex. The most basic thing you can do as a human being to reproduce yourself is to have sex. But they're saying sex is dirty. They're saying sex is bad. And then some of them say you can't use birth control, you can't do this, you can't do that. Huh? The man who is um the head of the United States Congress, Mr. Johnson, I think his name is Johnson, whatever his name is. Him and his son, they belong to they from down there where you from, Louisiana. Huh? Mike Johnson. He's the Speaker of the House of the United States Congress. Yeah, yeah, you don't want to see his face. He's ugly. But him and his son, they belong to some kind of weird, crazy white people sect where they had to monitor each other to make sure that they don't look at pornography and masturbate. It's a metaphor. The story is not a fact. The story is a story that tells the principles. So set dismember Asar and cut him into 14 pieces. And then his wife had to go and gather, and, it's different versions of the same story. So in one version, his wife has to go out and get, find the parts of the body and reconstruct him back together again. In some story, she sent a bird out to his corpse, and she was able to extract some energy from him through the bird, and then cause herself to become pregnant that way. If you're writing a story, you got to make the story make sense. You got to have character development. You got to have different things in the story so that it's going to communicate the message behind the story. When you look at Sinners, for example, Sinners is telling the story of twins, two guys, right? And one guy winds up dying and the other one is living forever because of the fact that he got bit by the vampire. And his brother would not destroy him because that was his brother. So even though he was going to become this evil thing, his brother was not able to kill him. Mm-hmm. Uh, right. It is, right. And all of that was expressed in the movie, right? So the one brother who refused to kill the brother who had got bit by the vampire, he died, like you saying, but then he went into the afterlife with his child who was already deceased and with the mother, right? And they went into the afterlife and they went into like a pleasantry. If he had killed the twin brother who got bit by the vampire, that person would have ceased to exist, even in the afterlife. His existence would have been finished. So his brother decided. That's my interpretation. So his brother decided that he wasn't going to destroy him and give him no existence. He felt that this existence, even though it's in the form of a vampire who has to feed on other people's energy and stuff, is better than not existing at all. Okay, so that's how I read it. So in the story about Sarah and that Set and Set and Heru, Set is a literary device. It's like you have an antagonist, a protagonist. You got all these different parts of a story when you write in a story. And so Set, his purpose within the story was to carry out something so that Asar can be resurrected, and they can tell the story about resurrection. So he served a purpose. But there are thousands of stories about Set where he's not killing nobody, he's not chopping nobody up, he ain't doing nothing. The main, when you see Set, he's on the bow, he's on the front part of a boat with a spear, and Asar is sitting behind him, and Set is killing a snake, which is a bad form of a snake. Some snakes are good snakes. Some snakes are bad snakes. So he's killing the bad snake in order to protect our Asar from this evil. That's his primary role, not that he killed our Asar. And even when Heru defeats him in the great battle, Heru doesn't kill him. Heru takes everybody and everything and puts them back into harmony with each other. And that harmony is called what? Ma'at. So every time a person becomes a king, every time a person they had to be sworn into like a higher office in ancient Kemet. They had to take a vow that they are going to uphold Ma'at. So that was their prime objective, was to uphold Ma'at. And if you didn't uphold Ma'at, you was in violation of your sacred oath, because that's what you were supposed to do. And nothing is supposed to stop you. Nothing is supposed to prevent you. You cannot be right. You're supposed to understand what your role is, what your job is, that you have to maintain and extend the sacred order of everything. And so part of that was protecting the realm, protecting the country from invasion from the Hyksos and the Hittites and the Greeks and the Romans and all those type of people. Okay. And Asar, Aset, Heru, Atun, it's hundreds of Neteru. About the Bible. To me, the Bible is just a big mess. So I ain't trying to interpret the Bible. Yeah. Huh? Everybody becomes some type of a Neteru when you make your transition. So that's like we be saying, that's like you hear people, like you see people on Facebook and somebody die and they say rest in power, because you're gaining power through your transition into the invisible non-material world. Well, because when you make your transition, you are existing on a different plane of existence where you have more abilities and powers than what you have when you're living here. So you have more power in the afterlife than you do now. because you're going to be, because you don't have the limitation of your physical body. Okay. So that's, so that is where we all become godlike, or we all become natural-like. But while we are on the planet Earth, what are we supposed to be doing? We're supposed to be laying down in the Sahu pose and traveling and doing stuff to experience and to prepare ourselves for the afterlife. Because when we go into the afterlife, we're not going to have a physical body. So we have a what you call it when you have a like they say this life is like a fake, not a dream, but it's a not a hologram, but something like that. It's like an illusion or a huh? Yeah, but it's another word. I'm gonna think of it. No, it's another word, but huh? It's another word. The matrix is like a virtual reality, right? So it's so this word encompasses virtual reality. So we can just use that term virtual reality. Like this is a virtual reality. But then when you make your transition, you go into a more real reality, you know. So anyway, so that's what we're trying to strive for, to be part of that, that ultimate reality. Okay. And so the ancestors left us these stories about Asar, Aset, and Heru. This is the primary story, right? Because when you travel throughout other parts of Africa, the same story is repeated. Okay. So if you go to Yoruba, you got Shango is Heru. Obatala is Asar. And Yemaya or Oshun is Aset. So the language changed, the names changed, but the basic functions never change. Huh? Those particular ones is in Nigeria, or what they call Nigeria. See, everything is so messed up. This border that they call Nigeria, it's a white people made up that border. It's a Europe, yeah, huh? The Yoruba, the Igbo, the Hausa, the many other groups of people live in the so-called country of Nigeria. But the kingdoms of Africa was divided by the group of people, not by these borders that the white people made later. So you had Yoruba land, you had Igbo land, you had Hausa land. It wasn't like Nigeria. In Ghana, you had the Ashanti kingdom. It was the Ashanti. It wasn't like something on a map. Yeah. So anyway, any other questions? You're welcome. I'm gonna turn. Y'all still there? Look at y'all. Okay, I'm gonna turn this off. I will see you all next time, next Tuesday.
Hotep.
Okay, peace and love.